Welcome to Two Sweet Lambruscos. Paulie Phirm here. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's doing well. How the fuck are you? How am I? Well, it's Seattle again in Los Angeles. We're trying to be the wettest city on the West, apparently. It's two winters in a row. We've been dealing with this deluge of atmospheric rivers and all this other bullshit. I don't mind the rain, personally. I think the rain's fine. I like it. We need it. Um, while we were having a drought in California, which was like for the past 10 years up until last winter, everybody was like, oh my God, we need the rain. Like, where's all the water going to go? Like, we have no drinking water. The dollar's crashing. It was like, it was like bedlam around here. And then, and COVID hit and the shutdown orders happened. And you had those like right wing nut jobs that were all like, "Oh my God, people are just going to be sitting at home taking showers and wasting all the water." It's like, really, idiot. The Earth is like 85% water. We'll be fine. But everybody out here freaks out now. Now that everybody's freaking out. Everybody wants to worry about we're getting too much rain, and it's going to start flooding and this and that. And it's like, well, maybe that's the natural order of things. Maybe maybe God just wants to take some of you out. Maybe may only the strong survive. But anyhow, it's good to be back. Good to be recording. I hope everybody is excited. One more little Lambrusco today. But, however, tomorrow, something amazing is going to happen, and I will be recording with my buddy Zach from the original podcast, the Zombie Eaters podcast. He's going to join us via FaceTime or Zoom or fucking whatever. He's going to be here in a multimedia max headroom 3D box. And I'm really excited about that. Zach is just still, to this day, one of my favorite people. And I'm really happy that we're going to get to sit down and have a conversation, see how he's doing. From what I can understand, that skinny fuck is doing all right. He's back home in the Midwest. I don't know if he's in Arkansas, which is the southeast, or if he's back in Missouri. I don't particularly remember which one of those two undesirable locations he's in. But wherever he is, he's making the best of it, and he's doing well, and I'm happy for him, and I'm very excited to have him here tomorrow. But that's tomorrow. Today, I want to talk about some things that have been on my mind. I actually wrote them down on a small piece of paper, which I have since misplaced, but I'm pretty sure that I remember most of it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the Super Bowl parade shooting in Kansas City. I don't know why this keeps. Oh, I know why it keeps happening. I think because sickos keep getting their hands on guns. Last year when the Denver Nuggets won the NBA championship, there was a shooting at that parade, and then the Chiefs win this year. There's a shooting at that parade. It's not a good time to be winning championships in sports. I guess this would be the time, like, you'd want to be in Buffalo. You got to think that they're safe. And there can be no parades happening up there, so no one's going to get shot to death, unfortunately. But you wonder why they're picking sporting events. I know it's a lot of people, but with all the security and police officers they had there, I can't believe that they were able to get away with it. I haven't really read into it much since it happened. I just don't feel the need to have all the media sensationalism blow it out of proportion. You don't really need to do that. The media doesn't need to do that. It's already horrible. You don't need to make it more horrible and scare people. It's already scary. It's already scary enough. It's already something that should put the fear of God into everybody. Um, that people are getting away with shooting crowds of people with all these heavily policed events. Yeah, I don't know whose fault it is. I'm sure the media has an angle. I'm sure the left side and the right side both have an agenda that they're going to push on us. But from where I stand or sit, I don't need to have the media make up my mind for me. You know, all I know is that it was fucking horrible, and the people who got hurt or killed, it's so fucked up. And I mean, I hope that this country figures out a way to prevent these things from happening, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. They've gotten away with it for this long. Uh, and you got to think too. A lot of these people, like throughout the years, these people who get caught shooting these places up are I mean, from what I can remember, are generally really homely looking white dudes who can't get laid. That seems to be the the people with the guns in their hands. And these people aren't geniuses. So how the fuck are they getting away with this? How are they outsmarting these cops and outsmarting, like, you know, these policed events? Like, what the fuck? I mean, are they so dumb that they're just hiding in plain sight and just walking up somewhere and opening fire with a fucking automatic weapon and that's it? And then when you know, they run out of bullets, they just run away. I mean, is it that simple? Is that how easy it is to pull off a shooting nowadays? Because I mean, you take the profile of all these people throughout the years; they're not splitting the atom. You know, they're not geniuses. You know, they're usually high school dropouts or didn't go to college. That's not, no, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that you're not intelligent if you dropped out of high school or didn't go to college. That's not what I'm saying at all. But generally speaking, you'd have to think that hopefully our trained law enforcement agencies can outsmart these people. You know, it's not like they're propagating these elaborate plans and pulling off these schemes. No, they're just walking up to a fucking group of people and opening fire. I mean, like, this isn't a fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from the 80s. What is going on? How are they getting away with this? I don't know. I do know that if if a sports team in Boston or you know, or Syracuse, or if they win a championship this year, I hope my family has enough wherewithal not to go. You know, because it seems like it's happening every time now. Um, why can't Buffalo win a championship? I'll just take care of the problem right there, but they never will. So to everybody in the country except people in Buffalo, if your team wins a championship, you know, think twice before you go to the parade, um, or move to Buffalo. You're safe there. It's never going to happen in Buffalo. They're never going to win. You'll be fine. Um, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You know, it's just as scary as mass shootings at victory parades or victory celebrations is driving in Orange County, California in the rain. Um, I'm not the kind of person who's easily scared or easily shook, you know. But I it's the God's honest truth. Every time I leave my house to drive to work or to drive anywhere, you know, I'm afraid. I'm literally just gripping my steering wheel, paying as much attention to the cars around me and in front of me as I can, because it could happen any second. Um, Driving around here, especially in the rain, it's a game of Asian roulette. Spin the barrel and just go. And you know, there's like a 90% chance that some car is gonna come jutting out of a side street and just fucking end you. And I say 90% because yes, let's say that you have a gun that holds 10 bullets. When you drive around here, nine of the holes have bullets in them. Um, I mean, I've seen accidents happen right in front of me, like right in front of my face, of cars. Just like one car is just driving. It's got a green light. It's about to, cross over a main street and just whack, dead. Asian when driving. Asian on Asian crime. Um, and I'm not sure like what kind of Asian is the worst driver in like the Asian places that they're from. I mean, I can't imagine that they just come here and they drive poorly. I got to imagine that they drove like that in their native lands too. Um, but from what I've been able to tell, I live in a predominantly Vietnamese neighborhood, and they're not so much dangerous as they are reckless, if that makes sense. Like they're more reckless than they are dangerous, meaning that they'll like cause you to get into an accident, but they won't be a part of it because their reckless driving causes it causes a chain reaction. Like their consequences of their actions are our consequences. I guess is the best way that I can put it. Um, and then the town over from me and where I work is predominantly a Korean neighborhood, and it, they're pretty bad. Uh, it's right across the board. They're pretty bad. They'll kill you. Um, and there's not a lot of Chinese around here. Not a lot of Japanese. Um, all I know about the Japanese is that they're either horrible drivers or they're like Tokyo drifting into a parking spot at 90 miles an hour drivers, and it's like unbelievable. And they're extremely racist. That's what I know about the Japanese, and the Chinese. Um, yeah, they're like the bullies. They're kind of the bullies of the big four Asians. I think that the Chinese people kind of bully people into getting bully the other Asians into getting what they want. And that's like the only thing about Donald Trump that was like cool about him being president. I feel sick even saying that, but he didn't take shit from people. He didn't take shit from China. They're trying to fucking fuck with them, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, go fuck yourself. And I mean, everybody was like, oh my god, why was he saying that? I'm like, because you have to. You have to stand up to these people, or they're gonna walk all over you. Like, look what happened during World War II with Neville Chamberlain. Adolf Hitler fucking hoodwinked the fuck out of him. Like, first of all, who takes a private meeting alone with Hitler without any of your constituents or your governing board around you, with any of your aides? Who the fuck just goes into a room alone with Adolf Hitler and makes a deal? Like who like why weren't Neville Chamberlain's people like, nah, dude, nah, no. You're not going anywhere alone with him. You slow your roll there, Adolf. And Adolf saw like, oh, okay, let's wait. What the fuck he's doing. You get, dude, Hitler was the most maniacal, manipulative, fucking control freak on Nazi meth. Like, I don't know what Neville Chamberlain was thinking, but that shit wouldn't have happened with Trump. That's my point. Like Trump's had little powwows with Putin, but he's not giving Putin all this power. Like Chamberlain just gave it away. He got fucking tricked. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen in the next election. I mean, I don't know how like, is Trump allowed to run? Is he not? Is he blocked? I was having a conversation with my friend Leanne the other day, last Saturday night, and she was like, "No, I think he's blocked." And it's like, I was telling her, it's like, yeah, I follow politics and stuff, but like, there's this certain shit that it's just all right. It's enough. Like, it's just ad nauseum. And Trump is one of those topics. It's just like, yeah, I can't fucking deal with this guy right now. Um, it's like everybody was so like, I've never seen people more depressed and more uncertain about the future of this country than when Trump was elected in 2016. It was but to me though, it was like, well, I mean, would Hillary have been much better? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how she could have been worse. I know that. I know that Trump pretty much set the bar for fucking garbage. Um, but at the end of the day, you know, the dude. I mean, it didn't matter who got elected, really. You know, because politicians are politicians, and I mean, this happens every time after a Democrat serves consecutive terms, like Obama did. Like they don't elect another Democrat after that. It doesn't happen. You know, like there's just so many people that are like, all right, we had 8 years of that. You know, now we gotta try the conservative way, the Republican way, and I mean, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but that seems to be the trend. You know, uh, after Bill Clinton was in office for consecutive terms, George Bush was in office for consecutive terms, and then Obama was in office for consecutive terms, and then Trump did his one term, and then Biden got elected, and now Trump is trying to run again after he like brought work home with him and did a bunch of fucking shady shit. But I'm not going to get into. I don't want this to be a political podcast tonight. But it's at the end of the day, you got to look at it from the perspective of history and in this country of our elected officials, and more often than not, it always comes down to money, power, and greed. Um, I'm biased because I'm a big fan of Barack Obama. I thought that for the first African American person to get elected as president and all the bullshit the fucking right tried to do to discredit him, saying he was born in like Kenya and that he's a terrorist because his middle name's Hussein. It's like, you guys fucking listening to yourselves? Like, you guys are ridiculous. Like, there's no one stupider. There's nobody's a bigger dumb fuck than a fucking alt-right conservative fucking psycho. I mean, these people, like the shit they say and the things that they believe, the things that they convince themselves of that are true. It's like, are you fucking hearing yourself right now? Like they were trying to blame the Liberal Party for the January 6th insurgents. It's like, dude, you got to be kidding me. You think it was a bunch of liberals looking for the votes to elect Trump? You fucking dopes. No, it wasn't. But I have friends who are right leaning conservatives, and I mean they're not the alt right fucking whack jobs, but they just believe in like the foundation of the Republican Party and what it's supposed to stand for. And more often than not, they're the ones that are like, oh, the liberals and Obama, oh, you're all socialists and this and that. It's like, yeah, all right, fucking idiot. It's anyway, enough about that. Celtics are on a break right now. All-Star weekend just happened. My boy Jaylen Brown, I did not see it. I was very busy this weekend, but I guess he lost the slam dunk contest, which is very odd to me. The dude's like the best dunker in the game. But he scored 36 points in the All-Star game. I heard the All-Star game, everybody's all pissed off because there was no defense. It was non-competitive. It was just, a bunch of dudes running around shooting threes and all this other shit. That's what the game's become. That's what basketball's become. Basketball has become a softer perimeter sport. If you look back in like the late 80s, 80s, early 90s, up to like pretty much up until like the early 2000s, like basketball used to be like a hardcore fucking game. With like those 80s Celtics and Pistons and the Chicago Bulls, Indiana, the Knicks. they were, rock'em sock'em robots out there. I mean, someone could go up, for a dunk or a layup, and you could just clothesline a motherfucker. It wouldn't get called. It was brutal. I recently watched that The Last Dance on Netflix that chronicled the Bulls and their six championships and like the last one, which is like the Last Dance, and um yeah, they were showing clips, a lot of clips of like the Pistons and the Celtics going at it, and I mean they were just throwing haymakers at each other. I mean, and now the sport's gotten so soft. I mean, you can go up for a layup or a dunk, and as a defender, you just put your arms up straight in the air to defend it. If there's any contact, they call a foul. Um, I mean, it slows the game down. It creates an unfair advantage if they're only calling it one way and not the other way, and you don't know like what's a foul and what's not a foul. But I mean, I'm not gonna stop watching basketball because of it. I love basketball. But just the game's changed, and that was really reflected in the All Star game this weekend. I mean, like I just looked it up to see who won and who got the MVP, and every single news story across Google and across the internet was like, oh, like this has got to be fixed. The All Star game's an abomination. The fans got ripped off. I'm like, they scored like 400 points. I don't think that the fans are getting ripped off. You can't make these people play defense. It's just an exhibition game. That's all it is. Like you're an all-star. You got chosen to be an all-star because you were voted in by the fans and your peers and the coaches or whatever, and then the commissioner and everything, because you've played well enough that you're being recognized. And if they're gonna play the way they want to play, because the game doesn't count. It doesn't mean anything. It's meaningless. I know that the All-Star game was different back in the 80s and 90s, but those are different times. You can't expect like these players who have played a grueling the half season so far, and they're not going to be out there playing 30, 40 minutes, playing press defenses and shit. And it's just an exhibition. It's for fun, and that aspect of it, I understand. They don't want to be out there playing hard. They're out there on break. They've already played hard for 3 months. And then after the All-Star break, they got to play hard for another 3 months. And then, most of the teams that make it to the playoffs, they start in, like, I think April or May. And they go for like 2-3 months. Like, basketball is a long season. Plus, they had the in-season tournament this year, which was like an extra few games. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that if the NBA wants a competitive All-Star game, and they're not going to get it, just have the All-Star break be like the slam dunk contest, the skills tournament, and like the 3-point thing. That's it. Have that be Friday and Saturday, and then that's it. They're done. They get the next few days off to relax, spend time with their families, and, come back rejuvenated after the All-Star break. Get back to playing basketball. Get back to playing Celtic basketball. Oh, man. It's not like an old fuddy-duddy right now. All right, you can't do that. Oh, man. You know what? By the way, this is my problem with trans people. So, it blows my mind that that everything when it comes to that community, the LGBTQ LMNOP community, that no matter what somebody says or what somebody does, regardless of what their intention is, this. They're a xenophobe or they're transphobe or everything has just become fucking absolutes. Like, and they don't even want to start a dialogue. They don't. And they act like they've just been like victimized for like hundreds of years, and they haven't. You know, it's like if a trans person got shot and killed, and like 5 minutes later up the road, an African American got shot and killed, what do you think's going to make the front page? Which one of those incidents is going to be bigger news? Yeah, I know what you're saying. The tease. Yeah, I know. Of course it is. Because oh poor us. You know, it's like, bitch, you chose to be trans. You weren't born that way. You chose to change your gender. You know, like, unless you're Michael Jackson, that you're born black, you're stuck black. And in this country, um, it's they're never gonna get the love and the notoriety that they deserve. Like, they're just gonna, like, racism is just gonna keep happening. Um, but because you decided to wear a dress, and change your name to fucking Linda, uh, and turn your dick into an open faced sandwich, like, you're more important now. That's bullshit. That's absolute horseshit. I mean, I'm not saying that you know trans people need to be, like, hated on and, like, all this other shit. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that, how do we get to the point in this country where, like, we've let um the historically disenfranchised African Americans, like, fall off to the wayside again. You know that the trans people, they're talking about how, like, they do nothing wrong and they're always victims. That's bullshit. If you go back to, like, when the Puritans came over here from England in the colonials, they took slaves and they killed African Americans and they killed the natives and everything. And, like, what were they? They were a bunch of trans people. They were a bunch of dudes with powdered wigs and face fucking blush on, dressed up like Hillary Clinton with a fucking army jacket. Like, that's what the friggin' original friggin' Puritans looked like. A bunch of trans people with powdered wigs and ponytails. And, yeah, but, no, trans people can't do anything wrong. Trans people even have their own N-word now? Can you believe that shit? Normal is a hate word in that community. If you call someone normal, you're a xenophobe and a transphobe. Yeah, they got their own N-word. It's so fucked up. You know what? You're full of shit. You really are. It's like you expect to just adapt this lifestyle, and no one's gonna have an opinion about it, or no one's gonna have anything to say about it. And if they do, like, oh my god, they're evil. That's not the fucking case. Everybody gets picked on. Everybody. Everybody gets picked on. There's always somebody out there that's gonna pick on somebody, regardless of what they are. It happens. It's life. Like, look where you live. This is the most sensationalized country in the world. Like they have these ads on TV and in magazines and on the internet and on social media, and all these influencers, like, that you have to have a certain image. You know? Like, little girls are fucking, like, going bulimic when they're 9. Like you decided to go from a girl to a boy, or a boy to a girl, or a panda to a monkey, whatever the fuck you chose. And, like, you act like you got it so hard. Like, this is fucking struggle. It's like, grow the fuck up and open your eyes. It's it's like we've completely pandered to you and given you what you've asked for. Maybe that's our fault. We said yes too often, too early, and too often, and you got entitled. I don't know, but, like, this is not like the horrible lifestyle that you all seem to think it is. Like, you chose to do this. You woke up one day and decided that you felt like a different person than the one you were born as, and you wanted to I don't know, metamorphose into something else, shapeshifter into something else, and like, oh my god, like, I can't believe people, like, say mean stuff about us. Really? Fucking grow up. The world's mean. People are mean. And, and you vilify these people. And the only way that we're going to move past this and get on the same page is to educate, not vilify. Open up a dialogue. But you can't. Anytime anybody tries to say anything, you fucking spin it all out of proportion and turn it on to like some hate speech, and it's not. You don't need to just fucking listen. Just sit down and fucking listen. Just listen to what somebody has to say. Like, all right, and I'm not saying that if somebody comes up to you and they're like, oh, fuck, blah, blah, just like, all right, fuck those people. But you can't automatically assume that any person that says anything or asks any question is immediately like a hateful person or committing a hate crime. I mean, that's absurd. You gotta pull your head out of the sand and realize that there's other people, other individuals on this earth, other groups of people that have it a little bit harder than you, that have been dealing with the bullshit a little bit longer than you. And I mean, if your biggest problem is, well, people just hate us and they can't accept us. Well, yeah, well, fucking welcome to the club. Oh my God. It's like, take a fucking joke. And I think that you people, you trans, lesbian people, bisexuals, all of you, the LMNOPs, you put yourself in positions and you put yourself in situations where you know that something is going to be said or be done that's going to offend you. Like why do trans people even go to stand-up comedy shows anymore? Why? Just to fucking get on TV the next day? Talk about how hurt you were? It's fucking absurd. You're gonna get offended if you go to a comedy show. You know that. And you talk about, oh my God, why do people treat us like this? Why do people say this? Fucking stay home. Let comedians tell their fucking jokes. That's all it is a joke. You just can't see the fucking nuance of it. It's just a joke. You laugh when they pick on other people, though. That's what is pretty unbelievable. And if I may say so, a fucking double standard. They're up there making jokes about black people, about fat people, about Asian people. Oh, ha ha ha, it's funny. Then all of a sudden they drop a trans joke and they're horrible people. Their careers need to be ended. How dare they? How dare you? Yeah, how dare you? How dare them? How fucking dare you? You're just gonna sit there and say this is okay and this is acceptable, but oh my God, how dare you talk about me and my life choices? But fuck that black guy and fuck that Asian guy and fuck that fat guy and fuck everybody. Ha ha ha, it's funny. Until it's about you. Oh, you're so full of shit. You're so full of shit. And you hide behind your veil that, we're such, we're people that are just completely, everybody vilifies us and picks on us and they don't understand us. We'll open a fucking dialogue instead of just making everybody fucking out to be the freaking murderers and villains. You gotta move on. You gotta just look. You got what you wanted. All right. You can take a dump in your own bathroom in Target. You can fucking. You know what? I don't even give a fuck. Like what you can do and what you can't do. Honestly, I think that I've known a lot of trans people. I'm very close to some of them, and I know that one of them for sure, if they listen to this, is going to get offended. Absolutely. I'm ignorant. I'm old fashioned. I'm from a different time. It's like, bitch, you're fucking 6 years older than me. It's not from a different time. Stop trying to talk to me like I'm some old fashioned fucking prejudiced old white racist guy from Boston. I'm not. It's not the case. It's just have a sense of humor. You know what? And if you don't like it, you don't have to fucking listen to it. Turn it off. Like, why stay at a comedy show or listen to a podcast or watch something on TV like that you're already offended by, that you already hate, that you already know that they're gonna do shit that's gonna offend you? You keep watching it and just get angry and angrier and angrier, and then you fucking go online and post in some fucking group about how dare they do that? It's like, dude, you could have turned it off 5 minutes in, but you watched the whole thing. Why? Just to have your fucking day on your soapbox so you can cry about it to the rest of the world. It's like, just fucking shut up. Just get out of your own way. Stop fucking ruining good people's careers because you got a fucking hair across your ass. Oh man. You really you really know how to put on a show, don't you? But anyway, my other friend who's trans, I mean, I've told them jokes that I've done, and then they was like, yeah, it's funny, it's a good joke, There's funny things about trans people. If you write a good joke about them, it's funny. That's all it is, a joke. Gosh, you want to know what? You want to know what the definition of a joke is in the dictionary? And maybe that's what the problem is. Maybe these trans people don't know what a joke is. The poor people. All right. It's a thing that someone says to cause amusement or laughter, especially a story with a funny punchline. That's it. Do you want to, know the definition of amusement? All right. Let's see what that is. The state or experience of finding something funny. All right. Now, let's look up laughter. The action or sound of laughing. What do all these things have in common? They're not hateful. You want to hear the definition of hateful? Hateful. Arousing, deserving of, or filled with hatred. That's it. One's filled with laughter, one's filled with fucking hatred. Hatred, laughter. Laughter, hatred. They're not interchangeable. Just take a fucking joke. Or don't purposely put yourself in a position where, you're going to get offended. I mean, it seems like everything offends you people. Well, you want you to stay home. Or fucking, I don't know. It's just go back to the way you were then, or just learn to accept that people aren't gonna fucking like you. But that doesn't mean that they're hateful people. Some people still believe in the fucking Bible, and what you do to them is an abomination. Well, those people are fucking idiots. They are. They're fucking fools because those people are idiots. They are. People who still live their life by the code of the Bible or whatever the fuck it is, the word of the Bible. I don't know. They're psychos. Oh, man and woman are the only two people that should wed. Like, how dare a man and a man, or a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman marry? God will condemn you, and it's like, ugh, really, still, you're still on this. Who gives a fuck if someone's gay or someone's trans or someone's a lesbian? Who gives a shit? That's the part that I don't get. Why people care about another person's lifestyle. The problem that I have is how certain people that have made certain lifestyle choices just can't accept that somebody might be joking, or somebody, might have a different opinion than them. As long as it's brought up in an unhateful way without malice, then just fucking deal with it. I don't understand why they're you're a big part of the problem, people in the trans community. You really are. I mean, you're not making it easy to love you. I do love you, but it's not easy. And I accept you, but it's not easy. You got to just calm down. Just take it back a notch. It's exhausting. It really is fucking tiring. Um, just let people have their opinions. Who cares? You're never gonna change the psyche of a community or a nation. You're never gonna do that. These people either accept you or they don't. And if they ever come around, it's got to be on their terms. And if they don't ever come around, fuck them. Who gives a shit? You don't need them. But that doesn't mean you have the right to go around fucking like imposing your fucking gay will on people and labeling them. The labeling theory is a fucking real thing. And it can be a harmful thing. And it goes both ways. I'm not just talking about, the trans community or the gay community, whatever, just, labeling other people as xenophobes or transphobes or homophobic, whatever. It works both ways. It does, and if you just look at what's been going on throughout history, like chances are there's never going to be harmony. There's always going to be acrimony. And, but I think the less we play into people's hands, the better off we'll be. Because that's all they want. There's a lot of people out there that do, want to rile people up, and you play right into their hand. They want that. They want you to be angry. They want you to get pissed off, and they want to get into a fight. They want to get into an argument. But, we don't have to do that. We have to turn the cheek. We have to be the bigger person. And, that's the best victory you can have. That's the best victory. Not buying in to these people these dumb, ignorant, time capsule, as you call them, people. But are you any better when you buy into it and you start arguing with them? No. That's what they want because they're ignorant. That's all they know how to do is have a dumb argument. And just because you know a couple big words, people in the LGBTQ community doesn't mean you're smart. That means you know how to fucking use a thesaurus. So, using big words and talking with a fucking affecture doesn't make you fucking superior. All right, so calm down. I know it hurts. I'm sorry, trans people. I know you're in so much pain. It's tough. Going from jeans to a dress. I never worn a dress, but they look pretty comfortable. It seems it could be a lot easier to slip into a nice, sundress and some fucking frilly nylon panties than it would to jump into, jeans, boxers, hoodie. Probably takes you less time to get ready now. I'm saying once, Harry became Sally. Once you go from that to that. But if you just stop being fucking getting in everybody's faces about shit, just give it a shot. I think people like you a lot more because right now, like you're not the first people that are getting invited to a party. You're a buzzkill. You show up, fucking everybody's on eggshells. They can't say anything. They can't ask any questions. You're like fucking bunch of bullies. And it's just knock it off. Just fucking enjoy yourself. Isn't that why you're doing this? Because you finally can be the person you want to be? Well, enjoy it. Stop talking shit. Stop fucking getting in people's faces and pointing fingers. Fuck, it's enough already. Just cut the shit. Just be who you want to be and enjoy it. And you'll notice that if you just stop fucking with people, like you're not that poor, we don't really care about you. I guarantee you more people will leave you alone. So, anyhow, I did not mean for that to be a 20-minute rant, but God, you people fucking really just need to fucking take it down a level. So anyway, all right. So we'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to be here with my good friend Zach, the OG from the Zombie Eaters podcast. And we're gonna talk about some things. We're gonna entertain you, and hopefully, you'll give us a listen. So, for one more night till tomorrow, it's Paulie Phirm signing off for Two Sweet Lambruscos. Good night, Austin, Texas, wherever you are.